My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. Please share my article below in The Federalist, my latest article in The Federalist, why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. Share that article for people who are like, oh, how does H.A. Goodman or anyone go from Bernie Sanders to Donald Trump? Read the article, share it. It's awesome. Why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. My Second Amendment channel is below in the pinned comment as well. Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump won 2020. Well, he's already, I've been saying like a couple days after the 2016 election, he'll win again if Democrats don't drastically change. They've actually gotten exponentially worse. I could never have imagined 2 years, well, over 2 years, of blaming Russia for their failures. Talk about a xenophobic, irrational, fear-based approach to fixing your problems. If emails show you corruption within a political party that caused Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign, maybe you should just focus on the actual words written by people in power. Maybe you should, I don't know, try to fix corruption that exists within the Democratic Party. Try to ensure that people don't get cheated again. Bernie Sanders was already cheated in the CNN town hall. And it was like what? Like took maybe a week? Not even, to maybe 3 weeks of him after he formally announced he's already cheated. So, anyway, he won the election in 2020 yesterday from his CPAC speech. His CPAC speech was brilliant. The number one reason that it was brilliant and that it pretty much showed there's nobody who can touch him. Well, first of all, President Trump, all he has to do is win Arizona and Florida. If you just look at 270 to win, and then he has to win one of Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin. He has to win Ohio also. But if he wins Florida, Ohio, and Arizona, he'll win. But if he wins Florida and Ohio, all he has to win is Michigan or Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. Okay. Democrats have an uphill battle in terms of the Electoral College. Clinton's going to run again. There's nobody who raises money, who would raise enough money. Clinton lost, outspending Trump 2-1. She spent $1.2 billion. She raised $1.2 billion and spent most of it. And he raised, well, it was $1.2 billion to $600 million. She still lost. But the CPAC speech was wonderful. Why? Because it showed President Trump, or it highlighted how different he is from any Democrat. It highlighted exactly why he was elected and exactly why he'll be reelected. His words match. Well, first of all, he explained exactly what the Mueller probe is about, using a word I'm not going to use now, but it's a whole bunch of manure. It's a whole bunch of nonsense. And that was perfect, because after 2 years of, oh my God, we have Papadopoulos, then Flynn, who was set up. Well, Papadopoulos was set up also. Then you have Manafort, then Stone, then all of these. Oh my God. And now they're going after his tax returns. So the House of Representatives is going to investigate him now. And then William Barr has to turn the tables. I mean, he has to. This is ridiculous. So we're waiting. And he already promised Lindsey Graham he's going to do a whole bunch of, he's going to uncover exactly how Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, well, mainly Peter Strzok and McCabe and Comey and all of them, set up and framed Trump. We'll stop him. That's Peter Strzok's text messages. Literally, the text messages say everything you need to say. But he called the Mueller probe what it is. He's consistently explaining to, or he's consistently stating just now on Twitter, I'm completely innocent. This is nonsense. We haven't had one shred of evidence, nothing, for 2 years. So you expose that. And then you turn the tables on Democrats. Democrats are saying, oh, well, Green New Deal. Nobody cares about AOC's Green New Deal. I explained in the Federalist article before my latest one, okay, how the Green New Deal would exploit poverty-stricken people across the globe. The mining of cobalt and lithium and nickel is needed to manufacture electric car vehicle batteries. You're not going to have an electric car vehicle battery without cobalt. It's needed for the battery to function properly. Cobalt, most of the world's cobalt is found in the Congo. Zero environmental or health standards, zero health standards in these mines. By one estimate, 35,000 children are working in these mines, along with other citizens of the Congo. They're suffering tremendously from environmental pollution, from the political chaos and turmoil linked to the mining of cobalt. There's only 5% of U.S. car sales now that are electric car vehicles. You ramp that up in 10 years to 100% without the technology existing that doesn't directly correlate to suffering and political chaos and economic chaos in other countries, in countries like the Congo, especially environmental pollution. You think mining cobalt or lithium or nickel is easy? Or, that doesn't pollute water, air, land? It doesn't lead to tremendous pollution? And then you have human beings in the Congo breathing in carcinogens. There's a whole bunch of, I explain in the article exactly how people are suffering from the mining of cobalt. But don't tell that to AOC. She's busy ensuring that 25,000 people or 25,000 new jobs don't enter New York. Then I look at sometimes Twitter. See what people say about me, which is hilarious. It's really hilarious. I enjoy people like, oh my God, AJ Goodman. I find that so funny and hilarious. But people are like, well, you know what? Amazon wouldn't have paid any taxes. First of all, they would have. The estimate was $27 billion. Not every year is going to be like last year, and even last year they paid some taxes, but whatever. Let's just assume there was no tax revenue for decades from here on out, which is absurd, but that's what, Democrats now, their life is taxes. The life of a Democrat is taxes, hating Israel, and hating Trump. That's pretty much it. But and ensuring that Americans remain in counterinsurgency conflicts. And Trump wants to bring them home. That's another story. But you look at these Twitter feeds, and it's like, oh, Amazon wouldn't have paid taxes. AOC did a great thing. What about the economic activity, the economic growth? By one estimate in USA Today, 107,000 direct and indirect jobs. Food trucks, dry cleaners, restaurants, construction, union work. You think, it was a 8 million square foot, something like that, headquarters. It was going to be built to fit 40,000 employees, not 25,000, and they wouldn't have gotten the $3 billion tax break if they didn't hire more than 25,000 people. Think of all the economic activity. The median income in Long Island City is like $56,000. 25,000 jobs. The average salary was $150,000. We can go on forever. I explained that in a segment about AOC preventing 107,000 direct and indirect jobs, $27 billion in tax revenue, and something like $186 billion in gross state product within 20 years or so. But don't tell that to Democrats. Do you understand? That's the thing. That's what Trump did at the CPAC speech. Look, the Democratic Party is delusional. Their voters are delusional. They doubled down on the initial lie was that Hillary Clinton was a great candidate. She wasn't. She's going to run again because it's a money-making endeavor. If you were paid to fail in life, you would consistently fail. If you're rewarded to fail, if it's like, in baseball, Bryce Harper gets rewarded for doing well, but if he got rewarded for striking out and then still, $300 million or whatever, he'd strike out. If in baseball, if you strike out, you won't make any money. But what happens if you're paid $300 million to actually strike out and make errors? That's exactly what Democrats, how they function. They make money. They foment 2 years of, oh my God, Russia cheated us after they cheated Bernie Sanders. They actually prosper as the country descends into chaos because of their temper tantrum that Trump won. So now, instead of focusing on a great economy, or instead of just forget about the fact that it is a great economy, there's more jobs. There's more jobs available than there are people to fill them. That's a fact. We have the beginning of peace between North and South Korea. The beginning of peace, we were nowhere close to peace between North and South Korea with Obama or any other president. President Obama destroyed the country of Libya. Then we have to hear it from all the justice warriors on Twitter. Oh my God, you said this, and this correlates to that theory, and yet at the end of the day, I'm morally superior to you, and I should judge you. Obama destroyed Libya. I didn't like Obama, and I didn't like Clinton. Yeah, right. Clinton's running again. Most of Twitter, all the morally superior, fantastic people on Twitter will vote for Clinton. Because the Green Party has been obliterated by Democrats and media, they'll cheat Bernie Sanders again. They've already cheated him, and Clinton's running again. Anyway, she'll eventually, once Amy Klobuchar spends all her money on combs and salads, and once each of them run out of money, essentially before the primaries, she'll announce later this year, Clinton, she's running. But instead of just focusing on an intellectual or policy disagreement, it's always Trump's a madman. He represents this. He said this. This is so horrible. Oh my God, this person said this a long time ago. Well, what about Hillary Clinton referring to black youth as super predators? Hillary Clinton just the other day saying that all black people look alike. This is what Hillary Clinton said. No outrage. No outrage. No outrage. She won an award, actually, the other day. This is for her work in the community, social justice. It was interesting. This was an award from the LGBT community that Hillary received. And Clinton was against gay marriage in 2013. Do you know anyone who was against gay marriage? I mean, I was on the left. I didn't know anyone who was against gay marriage in 2013. Nobody. Most conservatives were not. Anyway, she was. She's now receiving awards. It's the same thing all over again, just the other day. She's not running, though. Yeah, right. But Trump, what he did in the CPAC speech, not only calling out Mueller, not only calling out a ridiculous Green New Deal that relies on the suffering of indigenous peoples, the mining of lithium has led to water shortages and water pollution in Latin America, and that which hurts the indigenous communities. And not only highlighting the differences between Democrats and himself, but also evoking that same kind of enthusiasm. You need somebody to call the Mueller probe what it is. You need somebody to say, okay, this is the Democratic Party and this is President Trump. We're completely different on major issues. Trump wants to bring home Americans from counterinsurgency conflicts. Do you know what one guy who, part of the liberal or Democratic Party intelligentsia his rebuttal on Twitter, because I'm not on Twitter, but I read what people say about me, which is hilarious. I find it, people insult others by calling them my name, which is great. I mean, I don't want anyone to be insulted ever. My thing is that it's just so funny that like I'm this like, little tiny monster to people. It's kind of hilarious. But he's like, sigh. The working plan is that Trump is going to take 3 to 5 years to bring home American soldiers. If that's a rebuttal to me saying that I like Trump's policies and I think he's a great president because he's bringing home Americans from war, that actually bolsters my case. It's not a rebuttal. He would rather have them a lot sooner than later. But even Bernie Sanders, the one true anti-war candidate who is no longer, apparently, stated that he wants to bring, he's like, they should be brought home, but in an orderly withdrawal. An orderly withdrawal. Which means what? What does an orderly withdrawal mean? That's essentially stating, they should stay forever, but, one day we'll get them back. Americans need to be brought home from endless conflict. That's what Trump is doing. He's setting the stage for peace between North and South Korea. He's actually there's already the beginning of that. He's withdrawing Americans, and if it's not taking place fast enough, that's not the fault of President Trump. It's the fault of Democrats and media. Only a buffoon would say, you see, he's not doing it. And while at the same time, everybody on his political side says, don't do it, President, keep them there. Democrats, media, and establishment Republicans don't want Americans home from never-ending conflict. And then you blame Trump for not bringing them home fast enough? Are you kidding? It's Trump who said, I want them home. Go to the Google, research it. He wants them home from 2 theaters of conflict where Democrats want them there forever. Then he signed criminal justice reform. So how is this guy this horrible president? And in 2020, the only person who has even a chance against him is Clinton. Only because of the money. And the same people who say, oh my God, I don't even like Clinton, they're all going to vote for her again, and they're going to make sure that everyone else on the left does. And Twitter is going to be a bigger hellscape than it's ever been. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Trump just won the 2020 election with his CPAC speech. Share my article below, why Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. And check out my Second Amendment channel. I'll be uploading a really cool segment today. Thank you.